Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I am Jason. As always, my co-host Zach. We're both amped up to start talking today because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And dude, how awesome is this going to be if we can get Steve Sharp and William Dunkel on the podcast together?
Oh, keep the kids away, folks.
I got to reach out to Steve and see, but knowing what I know of him, I think he's going to be down to do this.
Steve's not afraid.
But if we do, and you see this podcast being launched, you may want to.
You're going to tune in.
You may want to tune in, but keep the kids away from that one because that one is going to be. That one's going to be a fun one. That was going to be a really fun one. Oh, I'm excited.
I just want the fights to be back so bad.
UFC 18 breakdown we're going to do today. But first, we have to talk about something that was posted in the group.
Yeah.
We have to talk about the picture of Ryan Hall and Larry Wheels. Do you know who Larry Wheels is?
Yeah. I did a little research after I saw the picture.
Okay. I'm not disagreeing with what everybody's saying in there about 99.9% of the people. I feel that Ryan Hall would do that too. He ain't doing that to Larry Wheels.
Why not?
One, he's over 100 pounds bigger than him.
So
he outweighs him by 100 pounds. I know. I'm not. And now take that in consideration. So at some point, that size and that strength has to account for something.
That is your not being as experienced with rolling yet.
I get it. I thought about that too. I thought about that too.
Yeah.
But at some point, when you're rolling with a guy, regardless of his skill level, if he's that strong and that big, like at some point that has to account for something. He's literally one of the strongest humans walking
on the planet. On the planet. Yeah. What is he, like top three?
He's insanely strong.
Top three, top five.
And I get the picture. The picture was little skinny guy rips bodybuilder's arm off, which, I'm in 100% agree. Well, 99.9% agreement that happens. Not with that guy. I don't think so.
So how much of it is the jiu-jitsu MMA world biased towards their guy and you're biased towards your world with bodybuilding?
Well, he's not just a bodybuilder. He's a power lifter and a bodybuilder.
Okay. See, to us, that's no different.
There's no different, but there's a big difference in that. So that guy is like, he's a freak athlete. Like he's not just just a guy that's just juicing up roid head just at the gym that Jordan Chandler chokes out for trying to steal his squat rack.
All-time story.
I'd love that story.
Hey, TMZ, can we get a video, please?
Please.
Oh my gosh. I'd pay so much money to watch Jordan Chandler choke some dude out on a squat rack at the YMCA in Arizona somewhere, wherever.
Hey, listen, there's a lot of douchebags out there in the fitness community, but hey, that guy learned a harsh lesson. Harsh lesson. Somebody
said it. I can't remember who. It might have been Braden Gardner, but they were like, he literally lived out everybody that trades fantasy. Dude, I got to a point with my trading where I'm like, I would love if somebody like put their hands on me. True story. I mean, I actually did have a little weird, not near as cool of a situation, but I did put somebody in a standing guillotine at the Layton Hills Mall a few years back and got asked to leave.
Oh, look at you, little temper there.
No.
What happened?
Okay, so it was the week before Mother's Day.
Okay.
And so we went to the bath bomb store. I went to the bath bomb store. To pick up some bath bombs for Hillary for Mother's Day. And in the store, there's like these three teenagers, maybe 18, 19, 20 years old. I don't know. They're kind of punks, but one of them had like one of those kind of like more like meme shirts.
Yeah.
And it was taking a dig at, I actually think it was taking dig at Mormons. For those of you who don't know, I'm a member of the church. and so we, it was kind of a dig. And I kind of hold my emotions on my sleeves pretty much. And I'm pretty sure I just rolled my eyes and was just like, kind of gave him one of those. Like I read the script and I just rolled my eyes and whatever. And he's like, and one of them pipes up. He's like, what? You got to say something? What? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, no, man, I'm good. Went, bought my bath bombs, walk out. I'm leaving. They followed me. And they were like, 8-10 feet back and like saying, like, just kind of saying stuff. Well, you got something to say, tough guy? And I'm just like, oh my, this is so dumb. And I'm walking, and then I could feel that they were getting closer. And so I turned around. I'm like, you're getting too close. Stop. Like, back off. And one of them stepped up on me, and so I grabbed him by the back and neck, and I snatched his head down and put him in a front guillotine. And then I threw him on the ground when his buddies came. And then the little rent-a-cop comes running. You must have seen it down the way. And he comes running down. He's like, you need to leave. I'm like, dude, this is self-defense. Like, I told them to leave. I told them to back off. And they wouldn't. And he's like, you need to leave and you can't come back. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. And that was a fun story.
I mean, not near as cool as Jordan Chandler's.
That was a pretty freaking, there's got to be video of that. Epic. There has to be video.
Epic.
Jordan, get us video. Let's put it up. It can be part of our intro to the Damage Plan MMA podcast. Yes, I think you're right though. As far as Ryan Hall, there, maybe there is a little bias to me, but I agree. I just think at some point that there has to be a line, a guy that's that big and that strong.
So, like, I have a question. So, what if? I wonder if we could like set up some sort of like simulation.
Who has the?
Can you get like a 300-pound like giant body lifter? You know what? Can we set something up with like LJ and Tanner?
Ooh, that would be pretty. Well, no, that wouldn't be too fair because Tanner does have a little bit of experience.
My money's on LJ.
I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying,
So would I, Dutch. Dutch said he would pay for that video, and so would I for Jordan Chandler's.
Here's what I was thinking. Who has the biggest following social media that we know that could tag Ryan Hall and Larry Wills? Because Larry Wills is pretty big. Him and his wife, if you haven't seen his wife, just Google who his wife is, and huge social media following. Mm-hmm. And maybe we could get them to do some kind of little celebrity little match or something to kind of settle the debate. But
here's the other problem.
Tanner and LJ might be close.
Here's the other problem. Here's the other problem with that is it's not worth it for Larry Wheels.
Yeah.
Okay, so say he smashes the little nerdy 145er.
Yeah.
Okay, you're ginormous. You're one of the 5 strongest men in the world. You should. What's the alternative? He gets his ACL snapped.
Yeah, I don't think he necessarily. I wouldn't say I guess it just depends on what the scenario is because I don't think he's just going to like smash him. I mean, like I know how legit Ryan Hall is. I follow him. Like I get it.
There's a reason why he's a wizard.
At that.
Here's the thing. I get how strong he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'll send you a picture of Tanner Dutch. He's about 260, about what, 6'3", 6'4"?
6'4",
big guy. Yeah. But the difference would be Larry Wills is freakishly strong. Like
I get it. No, I get it. But if Ryan Hall
goes to grab him, if he gets a hold of Ryan Hall, how's Ryan Hall going to even be able to do anything? If he just grabbed a hold of it.
Well, because it's trained versus untrained.
Yeah, I get that part of it too. That's why I'm adamant that, hey, 99.9% of the people, I agree. I agree with it. I'm not fighting that. I just think with that particular guy,
I get it. I just, what's interesting? Cause it's all about the position and you just have to stop him from getting the position. So it'd really be if Larry understood the basics enough to just be like, I can't let him get to a certain point or it's over. Right.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. Because like, dude, Hunter, he's 8 turns 9 on Monday.
Yeah.
And if he sinks in a rear naked choke, it freaking
100%.
sucks.
100%.
I tapped once and he was like, ha ha, and decided like not to let go. And he almost put me to sleep.
It's crazy.
I had to like reach back and like start squeezing his neck. I'm like, what are you doing?
So we're going to set up a grappling match with Tanner and LJ. So Tanner and LJ, we just volunteered you guys for a grappling match.
I know LJ would do it.
It's fun. Like Tanner probably would too, because he rolls. He trains. So I bet he would. All in fun. And we could call it the bodybuilder versus the grappler. Anyways, well, hey, not taking away from anything that's on the comments on the thing.
And it's fair. And people have to be respectful and understand too. There is a bias coming from the MMA world, of course, and there is a little bit of a bias that's coming from the bodybuilding world. You're the expert in that field. We're the experts in this field. Like, let me
just say this. Had it been Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronnie Coleman, well, maybe even not Ronnie Coleman in his prime, maybe like an Arnold Schwarzenegger or a Jay Cutler, one of those guys, I would say, yeah. Ronnie Coleman, I would maybe put in that category as Larry Wheels, because he was freakishly strong too. I don't even know why we're talking about this. Why are we talking about this?
Because it's hilarious. It's great.
Hey, if Larry brings his wife, Ryan's losing. I'm telling you right now, he's losing.
Why? Is Ryan going to be distracted?
He's going to be very distracted.
Right? Dude, with his eye twitches, he has Tourette's, and so he blinks a lot. Maybe he just won't see it that much. I don't know. Maybe. It's fun. I'm actually a giant Ryan Hall fan too. So I
am too.
I admit that I'm biased because his skill set is just so weird and so bizarre that he's creeped into the top 15 of the featherweight division, but he's not very active because people don't really want to fight him, and he doesn't really want to. And from what I understand, he's turned down fights too, so he doesn't always really want to fight some stylistic matchups as well. Yeah. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't want to fight the dude because if he gets a hold of your leg, you're out for a year.
I agree. Who's he fight? He's got a fight coming up next. Dan Ige. That's right. Dan Ige.
That's a crazy
tough fight.
And Dan Ige looked great against Calvin Kattar. He just got overwhelmed by Calvin Kattar. So I mean, if Ryan Hall beats Dan Ige,
crazy. Should we do our little breakdown?
I think first we should. Yeah. I would just like to point something out before we do the breakdown.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 canceled or pulled fights on this card.
Oh, wow. Was it that many? I knew there was a lot.
9.
Oh, yeah.
Go down. Yeah. Canceled and fizzled bouts at the bottom of Tapology.
Yeah, I do see that. Yeah.
So we are going to see we are seeing a lot of guys that are taking these fights on short notice. So before anybody, if anybody has any issues with some of the lopsided matchups on this card, and there are some, just give these guys a lot of props that are just stepping in on a lot of notice. Our first one was 2 weeks ago. He fought 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Jerome Rivera 2 weeks ago.
Man, it's like.
And then he's coming in and he's fighting a tough competitor.
A tough guy. And I cannot stress this enough. It's just like, dude, these guys are a different breed.
Hey, you got to be ready.
These guys are a different breed.
Props to these guys for being ready, man. Got a full fight card for tomorrow.
We're going to start with Odie Osborne versus Jerome Rivera. 8-3 Osborne versus 10-4 Rivera. Rivera is a late replacement, like we said. Just lost 2 weeks ago to Little Figgy, Davison Figueiredo's little brother.
Decision loss too. Yeah, so he went the distance.
This matchup is so interesting because these two are ridiculously long for this weight class. Agreed. For 125ers to be around the 5'10" range and have a 72 and 73 inch reach.
They're fighting at 145, right?
135.
Is it 135?
Oh, they are fighting at 145.
Yeah, 145 is what yeah.
Okay, so that does make a little bit more sense because Rivera fought at 125 at flyweight 2 weeks ago.
Did he really? So he's fighting 20 pounds heavier? Was that really?
Yeah, that's probably his walking around weight.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I thought it was 135.
I didn't catch that earlier. So that's I like my pick even more now.
Yeah. So this is one of the, Jerome Rivera. I'm not going to try and be too hard on this guy because I kind of like him. If I'm his coach or if I'm his coach or his manager, or whatever, I'm not taking this fight, dude. I know you want to be that guy, and Dana White loves those guys, but he gets a win on the Dana White Contender Series, won an LFA, right? So he lost 2 fights in LFA. He's 2-2 is his LFA record. Wins a fight on the Dana White Contender Series. Good for him. And then loses to Tyson Nam. Tough fight. Gets knocked out, and then loses to Little Figgy 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
dude. I think Odie Osborne. I think he's ready to take this division by storm.
The Jamaican sensation.
Dude, his striking, if you go look back, even against Brian Kelleher, he's sick, dude. He is explosive, electric. But he's still he has some flash, but he's still technically sound.
Yeah.
He's long. He's well-rounded. He did a good job on the ground. Brian Kelleher just caught him in a guillotine choke, and it sucked, but he's won himself by triangle chokes, a couple of triangle chokes, and submissions, punches. I mean, he's got everything except experience. He just needs more experience. And Jerome Rivera, coming up 2 weight classes, is a perfect notch to get under his belt of just some extra cage time and a win. Because I think he actually wins this pretty easily, -210. Lock it in, Odie Osborne. I tried to look. I think he could win it every way. I could see a decision. I could see a knockout. I could see him hurting him, going to the ground and submitting him.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the key. I'm going to tell you, I think what's going to happen too is what I really like is Odie Osborne. He has a great check hook. I watched a couple of his fights. Great check hook.
What do you think?
He was a huge underdog in his Dana White, or he was an underdog in his Dana White Contender Series fight.
So to add on to this, great breakdown, by the way. Because you have fought and you know the feeling of cutting weight. How did you feel 2 weeks after you cut weight after a fight?
Oh, fine.
You think he's fine? You don't think that's going to play anything into it?
Because he's not cutting weight again.
Yeah.
If he was cutting back down to 125, totally different story. You can't make that cut 2 times in a row. Your body's not ready to do that. But
any fatigue from going from a camp, putting back that weight on, and then going right into another fight?
No.
Okay.
No, not if he's doing it correctly.
So
we're doing it correctly. He's fine.
We're both on O'Day then. We think O'Day's going to win that fight. I think he's going to win too.
Lock it in.
O'Day Osborne for the win. That's our first pick.
Yeah.
Next up, you know what? I totally skipped this fight when I did my breakdowns. Timur Valiev against Martin Day. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Martin Day is a replacement, isn't he?
Yeah. Is that the second fight now? Because I have it further down on my card.
That's the second fight now.
Yeah,
that's the second
fight. They moved it. Oh, I got that.
So Julio Arce was supposed to fight. He withdrew. So it looks like Martin Day's stepping in on that one.
So I'm trying to figure this out. Martin Day is 8-5. Not the greatest record.
No.
He is 0-3 in the UFC and lost on his fight in the Dana White Contender Series.
Correct.
What's he doing in the UFC, bro?
I have no clue.
I'm not trying to crap on Martin Day, but you lost in the Dana White Contender Series and you're 0-3 in the UFC. It's like maybe you're just not ready for this step. Not saying you never will be. Not saying that maybe not one day. I'm just saying right now, probably pretty good indicator that You're not ready, bro. And Timur Vali, one, we don't bet against Russians.
That's the rule.
2, Frankie Edgar fights out of Frankie Edgar's camp. This is the second time in a row he's been on a undercard with Frankie Edgar. Head coach Mark Henry, great head coach, great camp. He did lose his last fight, though, as a -600 favorite.
Really?
He was a -600 favorite and got knocked out by Terrence Jones. So, but it says no contest because our boy popped for weed. Smoked a little weed in Vegas and got popped and failed his drug test, so it's a no contest. So that's the only reason why he's 16-2 and not 16-3. I think he's on a mission for redemption, though, and I think Martin Day he's getting kind of served up to him. What sucks is Martin Day. It's like you're getting cut after this fight. You lose, you're getting cut. These two both have a giant chip on their shoulder, and Martin Day might be able to get away with beating somebody like this because of that urgency and the chip in the shoulder. If he hadn't just got knocked out in his last fight, this dude's going to be locked in. Timur Valley, Timur is -375. Like,
is that what he is right now? Yeah.
It's so high. I'm not even sure I like it, but I do like the under 2.5 at -125.
I like that. I would take that.
That would be my bet on this fight. If you really are just positive,
you could get it
for Timur, that's fine. But I think the bet, if you're going to bet on this fight, the move is the under 2.5 for -125.
Under 2.5. I like it. You heard it first here.
Bang.
You have heard it first here. Next fight up, I think this is could be up there for fight of the night. I think this one's going to be a banger. Yusuf Zalal and Wu Chao. Wu Chao.
So this
I already know your pick.
I know, but this fight's crazy and it doesn't make sense. Zalal's 10-3, Chao's 8-3.
Yep.
Zalal is 3-1 in the UFC. Choi is 1-2 in the UFC. Zalal has all the fancy explosive striking in the world.
He does.
And said, I'm going with Choi. This is my big underdog pick tonight. Or tomorrow night. This is my underdog pick of the card.
Just so people know that are watching this, we don't compare notes when we're doing this, and I actually have Choi as my underdog pick as well. I think he's the better striker.
I have all my notes.
I think I'm in agreement with you. I think he is the better overall striker.
So
and I wouldn't be surprised if he knocks him out.
Technique wins over the flashy stuff.
Yep.
And not that Zalal's not technical. The other thing is Choi, at this weight class and fighting at 145 pounds, he's 6 foot with a 74-inch reach, 74.5-inch reach.
Yeah.
That is significant. And Zalal, 3-1 in the UFC, kind of beating some other no-namers up and comers. I think he's been kind of fed a couple winnable fights. Okay? Choi. Movazar, Evilivov, monster. Lost a decision. Gavin Tucker, rear naked choke. Gavin Tucker, for those that aren't paying attention, he's got all the crazy tattoos and everything. He's one of the sickest jiu-jitsu players in the UFC right now.
He's legit. Yeah.
He's legit. Got him. And then beat Saman Mkhitaryan, who Saman was on that undefeated season of The Ultimate Fighter and had a good showing on that. No joke. He may be only 1-2 in the UFC. Way tougher fights, way higher competition, and he hung with those guys.
Yeah, that Evilov and Tucker fight speaks volumes.
Those
on
two,
what he brings to the table.
This, I'm telling you, the value. Choi is you're getting good value, because I would even argue if I was setting the odds, I'd even have him as a slight favorite in this fight. I think he's the better fighter.
Does it go to decision, or do you see? I could see Choi knocking him out.
Nope, I have the over 2.5 starred on mine. I'm not sure what the odds are on it, but that's what I liked.
Man, if you wanted to sprinkle a little bit on Choi by TKO or KO, plus 685.
you're going to have a hard time knocking out Zalal.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, he is tough. He's very tough.
And I mean, look, he wins and loses. I mean, if you look, once he got out of he won a lot of finishes coming up, but once he got to LFA in the high level LFA fights, he's in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In his last 7 fights, only one has had a finish. He got a flying knee. The rest of them gone decision. He's a tough kid, and he doesn't really put people away since he's been into the more elite level of competition either.
Yeah. All right, so we're both in agreement on that one. Next up, we got Molly McCain and Laura Procopio. This one should be pretty interesting. You don't think so?
I think Molly McCain just works her. I don't think it's going to be that fun of a fight. I'm sorry.
I was really trying to find a way that I wanted to pick Laura, and I think Molly's just going to be too much for her.
Too much experience. That's what I have in my notes. 5 fights in the UFC, and Laura hasn't fought in the last 18 months.
She is tough. She is tough. Her last fight with Carol Rosa, she kept coming forward. She was eating some shots, but she was giving them right back.
She does, and she's coming down from bantamweight to 125.
Yes,
but like she doesn't do anything that makes you go, oh, that's nice. It's very just.
She is a BJJ black belt. If this goes to the ground, Molly McCain's been submitted before.
Okay.
I mean, and I'm not. I've heard a couple people harp on the fact about the Talia Santos loss, but
dude, I think
Talia Santos is yeah, she's legit.
She's legit. Yeah, that's fine. But Laura, I just didn't see anything when I watched the tape that made me go like, oh, okay. Like Molly McCain, she's proven in the UFC. She's been there. She's got the experience. She has more than double the fights than this other girl. I just think there's levels to this. And I mean, Laura's going to have moments. She'll land some decent shots in the striking and stuff, but she'll be the bigger, stronger girl that maybe she can clinch up and make it a dirtier fight and win some positions on the ground and against the cage. But I think Molly McCain's going to be too much for her.
I'm going to go against the grain.
You can go against the grain. That's fine.
Go against the grain. I'm going to say Laura is going to. I'm going to say Laura's going to win.
Okay. I mean, that's your prerogative. Can we both agree that the over 2.5 at -375 is happening?
Oh yeah, because I don't think I don't.
Nobody's getting finished in this fight.
If Carol Rosa couldn't finish Laura, I don't think Molly McCain's going to be able to finish her either. I don't see that happening. No. But I think recently we've seen some fighters come back after having these long layoffs, which Laura has had a 1.5 layoff since her last fight, dropping down a weight class. She's better conditioning.
But why is the layoff? Was it to get better, or was it because of COVID? That's what we don't know. That's what we don't know.
I'm going to roll the dice. I'm taking Laura.
You're not putting any hard-earned money on this fight, though, are you?
Probably not. But yeah, that's my pick.
You can pick it, just don't put any money on it.
And next up, we got Carol Rosa and Jocelyn Edwards. What do you got on this one?
Carol Rosa, 2-0 in the UFC, holds a win, like we just said, over Laura Procopio.
She's a killer, man.
She's got, and you know what I loved when I watched the film on her? Long, straight punches, finishes everything with a kick. Right?
Yes.
So when you get those long punches that land, and then you're just always getting kicked in the leg, that wears on people over 3 rounds. It gets old. You get beat up a little bit, and she trains with Jessica Andrade, and she's very strong and kind of fights like her a little bit. She's been in Andrade's corner before.
That's very good. I like that comparison.
And she fights like her a little bit. She's kind of a bulldog too, but she's just a big, strong, physical girl. And Jocelyn Edwards was an underdog 2 weeks ago. She fought 2 weeks ago too.
Yep. She's taking this is a short notice fight because Nico Montano got did not get cleared to fight because of
she's gonna get
concussion.
She's gonna get cut. That poor girl's gonna get cut. She like never fights. She won the Ultimate Fighter and never fights.
Well, she got in a bad car accident and they couldn't clear her because so she couldn't pass the concussion protocol because of, I think, the effects of that car accident. So, well,
that's too bad. Hopefully, it is recovery. I liked her. I was a huge fan of her on the show, but it was like, oh, by the way, Valentina Shevchenko. Oh, you won the 125 division. Oh, Valentina Shevchenko's coming, and she's like, I don't want to fight anymore.
Yeah,
and then she's never gotten over that, and you could tell Dana doesn't like her because of that too. But anyways, Jocelyn Edwards, she's very skillful, very fluid striker. She has a lot of value. I actually picked Edwards to point out a striking decision. Carol Rosa with the long straight punches, strong, has the experience, not overwhelming experience, so just 2-0. And I feel like she could be getting a little bit. She's a good, solid fighter, and she just doesn't do anything special. I think when I watched Jocelyn Edwards 2 weeks ago, I felt like she had a little swagger to her that I really liked. Yeah, and I don't think it's a big weight cut for her. She's a little bit skinnier, but she's long and she uses her kicks well. And I actually see her out out striking her and out pointing her in this fight and winning like a 28-27 or 30-20, 29-28 or 30-27 decision, because I think with those long kicks and how fluid she is, she can use angles and keep a good distance and just stay on the outside and kind of pick her apart for 3 rounds.
I think Carol Rosa is going to be able to get inside, and her physicality is going to be a little bit too much for her. But I see what you're saying. I do like the confidence in Edwards coming into this fight after that win when she was an underdog and she pulls off that huge upset win. She's also got a little bit of and I like this, right? She was the first female fighter from, is it Panama? Yeah, Panama.
To win in the UFC. She kind of carries that with her where she feels like she's representing her country. Like her whole country, like these fighters, like it was kind of like the Conor McGregor effect, like, right? He had the whole Irish wave behind him. You kind of got like that feel with it. And I like her confidence level. I think she's going to have some success in this fight. Really like the over 2.5. Really, really like the over 2.5 in this one too. I mean, might be a great spot to parlay that with the over and the other McCain fight as well to get that down to, and then maybe with something else to get it dang near to even money. That's I
like it. Yeah, I do like that.
I think that one's actually going to be a really fun, entertaining fight, where I think the other female fight that we just talked about before that is not. I think this one is going to be a fun fight, though.
There you go. Next up, we got Devontae Smith fighting Justin James, who is stepping in on short notice again. Man, Justin James is he'll fight anybody, anytime, anywhere, any place.
Catch weight, 160.
Catch weight. He's fighting at 160. He's, what is there, almost a 10-inch reach advantage for Devontae Smith.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
I'm just going to say I think this fight's going to be over pretty quick.
In my notes, I have Devontae Smith -300. That's like my lock of the night. Smith via first round, TKO or KO. I think he sleeps him in the first round.
He is impressive. His striking's impressive. Good leg kicks. He's long. He's rangy. He did get knocked out by Kamar Worthy, but I mean it was a great shot. I mean, he was in the fight up until that point.
But that could have happened either way.
Yeah, if you want to go
get knocked out too, like that could have been either of them. With the way they
-150 Smith by TKO or KO. I like that.
I like that a lot. I like
Jared, what's up, brother? Thanks for tuning in.
What's up, Coach? Yeah, but I'm not gonna just be on the Devontae Smith thing. Justin James, he's only 1-2 in the UFC. He's tough and gritty. He's good everywhere. He's just not great anywhere.
Yeah.
And Devontae Smith, here's a couple notes for you. 10 amateur fights. Love that. I love that.
10 amateur fights. And doesn't he have a 100% finish ratio too? He finishes everybody.
Has never had a pro fight go to decision. Never.
I like it. He's either finishing or getting finished.
Yeah, but dude, he's a murderer, dude. He's a murderer. I mean, lock of the night. Hey, if you're building a DraftKings lineups, you're starting your lineup by putting him at the top.
I like it. I like it a lot. Next up, we got Mike Rodriguez and Danilo Marquez. You look at Zach getting his notes. You are prepared today. I'm impressed.
Always prepared.
I'm impressed.
I'm an Eagle Scout. Always prepared, sucker. Mike Rodriguez versus Dylan. You know, Mike Rodriguez, a little up and down. You know, Dana White Contender Series vet.
Kind of got the shaft in his last fight.
Win one, lose one. Oh yeah,
when shafted on that one.
When Ed Herman tapped but didn't tap and then came back and beat him.
Well, no, he got the knee to the sternum, and Ed Herman went down and he got like a 5-minute rest, and then it's like, wait a minute, there wasn't a low. Well, I mean, it was the ref's fault, totally the ref's fault.
Yeah,
but he kind of got the shaft because he was piecing up. He was piecing Ed Herman up.
Yeah, Dana White actually paid Mike Rodriguez his win money for that.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Dana White continues to vet. He's big, physical. He's very, very dangerous in the first round. Very dangerous in the first round. Scary. Marquez, he's 1-0 in the UFC. He's on a 3-fight win streak. 10-2. I mean,
he's kind of got a late start in the UFC.
Yeah.
I'm leaning 35, 36 years old.
I got to go with Rodriguez, but I'm not positive on this. He's minus 240. I would not bet on him on anything. No parlays.
Not that.
Yeah, minus 240. I don't like that at all. I want to see a little more on Mike Rodriguez. I'd like to see him piece together a couple wins in a row as well and kind of get some momentum. But he should win this fight, but he's lost some fights that he should have won too. So
is this the classic grappler versus striker? Because Marquez is, he's just going to try to latch onto him. Because
that's right.
I mean, his first fight when he fought, which was a boring fight.
Super boring.
Ibra Gamilov or whatever his name is, however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
He won a decision with him, but he just
look. I'm getting tired just from the fight.
Boring. I'm not betting on this one. It's too much to lay over minus 200 on that on Rodriguez. I ain't buying it.
No way.
Because I could see Marquez taking him to the ground and submitting him.
I could see him taking him on the ground and laying on him for 3 rounds.
Now we're getting into the main card after this, and this this is going to get this first fight on the main card. Diego Ferreira and Beneil Dariush. I love both of these guys, man. A lot. This fight's going to be
by the way, a rematch.
A rematch. Yeah, they fought back in 2014,
16, 14.
14. Yep. And Ferreira's on a 6-fight win streak. Dariush is on a 5-fight win streak. So these guys are both
and they fought a lot of the same guys. One holds a win over Ramsey Najim. The other one lost to Ramsey. Dariush lost to him. Ferreira holds a win over Ramsey. They fought a lot of the same guys. They've been around each other for a while. They fought each other. Who do you got?
I think you can. I was super impressed with Ferreira's last win against Anthony Pettis because
when he choked him,
and just the way that he kind of manhandled Pettis in that fight.
Made it look easy.
He made that look easy. That's scary, man. That is scary. I love Dariush though too, man. If they're gun to my head and I have to make a pick, I'm going to take Dariush to stop the win streak of Ferreira. But I think it's a tough fight.
I got this as fight of the night.
In the odds, it's a coin flip. As far as the odds, coin flip.
I like the under 2.5 at plus 110. I think somebody gets knocked out.
Really?
Yeah. Or finished. I think somebody gets finished.
See, I don't think either one of these guys get finished because I like both of these guys have a solid grappling background, and I could see this fight going to the ground. And dude, Dariush, what was his fight that he had with Jakar Close when he got comeback fighter of the year or something in 2020? he was getting just demolished and comes back and just knocks out close.
I got
this fight's going to be a banger.
I got Diego Ferreira.
I'm not faulting
fight of the night. It's going to be a crazy good fight. But guess what? Diego Ferreira on his fight win streak, he's got the head. Do you know who he's lost to?
Ferreira?
Diego? Yeah. Dariush and Dustin Poirier. That is it.
That's impressive. He's impressive, man. I'm not taking anything away.
Holds wins over Anthony Pettis. Some Russian guys. That's terrifying. Ramsey, dude, I think he's a savage. And I think that, dude, nobody wants to fight him. Nobody wants to fight him.
Coin flip. Dariush, though. I'm going Dariush in this one. And I see it. I actually see it going to a decision. So we are total opposite sides of the spectrum on this, because you see it finish. I see it going to a decision. And I see it being a probably fight of the night, like you said. We do agree on that.
I think it's going to be fireworks. I would not be surprised if both of them got dropped in the first round at some point.
I could see that as well.
Jeez.
Then after
that should be honestly, that should be a main event.
I agree.
That could be a main event or a co-main event. It's crazy. Crazy good card.
Next up, we got Cody Stamann against Askar. And Askar, he is a late replacement as well. I think they've tried to get Cody Stamann 2 other fighters, because he was supposed to fight Merab, the other wrestler guy who I really wanted to see that fight.
Andre Will.
He was supposed to fight Andre Ewell, but then he was supposed to fight the Merab Devilishi. Did I say his name right?
Yeah.
Horrible at pronouncing these names. I'm pretty sure that's who he was supposed to fight. Yeah, he was supposed to fight him back in December. Davalishvili back in December. And then Andre Ewell canceled. Now they're bringing Askar in on short notice.
First, I have a rule. What's our
rule?
What's our number one rule? We don't bet against Russians, right?
We don't bet against Russians.
You know what the number 2 rule is on this podcast now?
What's the number 2 rule?
Never bet on somebody that has the same first and last name.
Hey,
what the heck?
Oddly enough,
I'm just kidding. I'm not.
I don't think this is going to be a whitewash of the fight.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. He has no choice on that. I know somebody that has the same first and last name, and they're good people. So I'm joking. I'm joking. But Cody Stamann, I'll literally, this is the notes. All I had to take. There's levels to this game. Cody Stamann wins. That's all that has to be said. He is gonna wrestle. You know what? This guy for 3 rounds.
Scar's pretty legit.
Is he? How legit is pretty legit? Because Cody,
there is levels to this. He is
Askar is used to fighting 135ers, not yoked up 145ers like Stamann.
Yeah, but Stamann's fought at 135 too.
Yeah, but he's big. He's big.
I want to pick Askar so bad.
Yeah, Askar.
I was impressed. His striking's crisp. He's got a good ground game. I mean,
pull the trigger.
I don't know if I want to yet.
Pull the trigger.
I don't know.
He also 2 fights ago also got knocked out in 39 seconds. Askar.
You know, it happens, Zach. It happens to the best of them.
It absolutely does. Look at Jose Aldo. Happened to him.
I'm going to go Cody Stamann. I think Cody Stamann. He'll control the fight. I don't think he finishes. It goes to decision. I'm going to be pissed.
I have Stamann by unanimous decision. That's what I think happens.
I'm going with that.
But if you don't have the balls to pull the trigger and he wins, you have to throw away the genie hat.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Because I feel like you want to do it. You just won't do it.
I mean, I know there's levels to this and we talk about it on every podcast, but something about this is maybe
he's
this guy
a 4-1 underdog. Maybe you put $10 on it to win 40.
Maybe this guy comes in and shocks the world and beats Cody Stamann on a short notice fight. It could happen.
I mean, so when I did the study, the reason why I only wrote levels to this and Cody Stamann unanimous decision is because I was moderately impressed by my guy AK-47 as well. But then I look, dude, Stamann has been in there with Jimmy Rivera. He's been in there, beat Brian Kelleher.
Yeah.
Majority draw with Song Yadong. Monster, right? Alejandro Perez, unanimous decision win. His only 2 losses in the UFC are to Jimmy Rivera and Aljamain Sterling. Like, come on, dude. That guy's not losing to a guy named Askar.
I don't have money on it, but I'm gonna go with my gut and I'm gonna take him. You're right. I can't go against it. I hope you're right because it'd be really fun. But when Stamann wins like 30-26 because he just wrestle controls him the whole time, he's going to get slapped.
We won't be surprised either.
AK-47 is going to slap a submission on him. It's going to be over with. Second round. It's going to choke him out.
Yeah, right.
Andre Pantoja against Manel Kape.
Okay, now
let me say down on this one.
Let me say this again.
Okay.
Could be fight of the night.
Another one. This card is fire, man.
It's really good. This is for those of you who don't know, Manel Kape, whatever. He's been fighting over in Ryzen. He's their 125 and 135 champ coming to the UFC. Do you know who he asked to fight when he came to the UFC?
Who was that?
Davison Figueiredo. That's what he wanted for his first fight. He's like, I'm not afraid of this guy. Let me do it. I'll fight him. He goes, I'm the champ. I was the champ in my last division. Let me come fight your champ. And then he said, I don't want anybody outside of the top 5. So they gave him number 5, Alejandro, who is a killer in his own right. Has 2 wins over Brandon Moreno. 2.
That's impressive. That is impressive.
Okay, so, I mean, we are talking, but I just see Manel, he's a KO artist. And he's one of those people that is when he's like a tidal wave, little Dustin Poirier-ish. When he hits you and he knows that you're hurt, that tidal wave's coming and he is not going to let you up to breathe. And it is over. He is a monster once he clips you.
So you're going with?
I'm going with the Rising Star Cape, and he is going to move right into the top 5 of that kind of now rejuvenated, really fun flyweight division.
I love that flyweight division. So speaking of Ryzen, what was that fight? Oh gosh, it was like 6 months ago. There was a guy, was it the light heavyweight guy that came from Ryzen? Am I thinking of somebody else? I might be thinking of somebody else. Oh, I can't remember his name now. Anyways, I'll figure it out later. Anyways, I'm with you on that one. I think Manel takes that.
Like, and this is so hard for me to pick against Pantoja because that guy's a killer.
He is a killer.
But and the other thing that I like in this, over 2.5 plus 125. You have 2 killers.
He's going to sleep.
I like the over. I think it goes to the decision.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's a decision, but I think you're going to see some swings in this fight. I just see Cape's output just being too much.
Too much? All right. I like it. I like Cape too.
Good fight, though. Great
Then
fight.
we have the senior citizen fight. Michael Johnson and Clay Guida.
Senior citizen fight.
You know this is going to be a fun fight, though. You know it's going to be a fun fight.
Okay. When you have two guys
vets
that have been in the UFC for 11 and 15 years, Clay Guida just turned 39, folks. And he's still
fights.
And he has better cardio than anybody. He never stops.
He's the carpenter.
He never stops. The reason, this fight could be like crazy entertaining though, because both of these guys need a win. Michael Johnson even said in media day, if he doesn't win, he's going to get cut.
He's a 2-1 favorite. He's a 2-1 favorite in this one too. Do you like that?
I do
2-1. Really? Michael Johnson, 2-1 favorite.
Guida's 39 years old. Like I love Guida and stuff, but like I mean, dude, his days of beating these types of guys were over years ago. Michael Johnson, like you gotta.
But I mean, is Michael Johnson really going to do anything? Let's say he wins. Where does he go in the 155 division? Is he cranking in the top 10? Is he beating anybody in the top 10?
He's calling Khabib out. He's calling out Khabib. He wants a rematch.
Come on. Come on.
Hey, it was funny. It's a joke, Grandpa. Laugh.
I don't even know if he gets in the top 15.
No, he doesn't. He's been on a rough slide. And the tough thing with Michael Johnson is he has all the physical tools. I feel like it's mental for him. I really do. Dude, there's something with that Darren Elkins fight. What was that? 4 fights ago for him? 3 or 4 fights ago?
I think so.
He went down to featherweight and he fought Darren Elkins. And you could just see he just doesn't believe in himself as much anymore. He beat Andre Fili in a split decision that I thought that he lost. I really thought Andre Fili won that fight.
Yeah, I did too.
He beat Artem Lobov. Okay. Artem Lobov is not a UFC quality fighter. I don't care if you're Connor's boy or not. Like, he's just not. He's fun for bare knuckle boxing, and we can get to that later. But I mean, those are his. But then he has a win over Dustin Poirier mixed in there. But other than, I mean, in the last 5 years, he has a win over Dustin Poirier and then a controversial win over Andre Fili. But then he lost to Dariush. He lost to Nate Diaz, which is when Diaz cut the epic promo to call out McGregor. Then he got commered by Khabib. But you got to remember, he clipped Khabib. He was the first person ever that wobbled Khabib, and still the only person to wobble Khabib. You know, the Justin Gaethje fight, he hurt Gaethje. He had him hurt in the first round.
Yeah.
And then he had Darren Elkins, and then Darren Elkins takes his back and chokes him. Like, that's the crazy thing. He's on this crazy loss streak, right?
Yeah.
But it's like the Daniel Barriouche split decision loss, razor thin. You know, Nate Diaz, physically, he has all the tools, all of them. There's something in his head he can't put it together.
Does he finish Guida, or do they go to decision?
So Michael Johnson is minus 220. The under 2.5 is plus 180.
I could see him.
I kind of like the under at plus 180.
I kind of like the one. I do too. And I know Clay Guida's tough, but
I mean, he's tough. Like, you're probably not going to one-shot knock him out because nobody does. But he's gotten submitted. He got guillotined by Jim Miller like that. He got guillotined by Charles Oliveira. Good job. You beat BJ Penn in there. Join the list. Everybody's beating BJ Penn. You know, but Ortega got him. Tavares got him. When he's losing, he's getting choked. Look at all of his losses. Look at all of his losses since 2014. Dennis Bermudez choked him. Thiago Tavares choked him. T-City, Brian Ortega, knees and punches. Charles Oliveira choked him. Jim Miller choked him. Like, I could see it.
I like it.
I could see the menace hurting him and snatching up that neck for plus 180 in a payday. Just saying.
I like it. I like Johnson.
But by the way, I'm rooting for Clay Guida though.
All right. You root
my wallet's cheering for Johnson because that's who I think wins. But I think I'm always cheering for Clay Guida. I love that guy.
I like it. Should be a banger. What about co-main event? Corey, the Sandman, Sandhagen, Frankie Edgar, baby.
This fight makes me sad.
Why?
Because I hate watching legends get smashed by young up and comers.
You think Frankie's just going to get smashed?
So at first I was thinking, I'm like, maybe I'm not giving enough respect to Frankie Edgar. And then I saw the line that Sandhagen is a minus 420.
Is it that far?
Minus 420, Jason. So that means Vegas thinks he's getting smashed.
Wow.
I initially thought that he was getting smashed. I mean, I love the over 2.5 at minus 225. I don't see a finish coming in this fight. I think Frankie Edgar's tough as nails and is going to stick in it, because he's a freaking dog and he'll fight to the death. But you got to remember, this guy, he's the former lightweight champ, 155. Yeah. He is all the way down making 135 now. He's older. He's kind of like, it's just.
Yeah, he's almost 40 years old too.
It's like, man, what?
So we're both on Corey Sandhagen on this one. Do you think it's by decision, or do you think there's a finish?
No, I'm going over. I'm going to the decision. I'm taking
the decision. Sandhagen by decision.
The over 2.5 minus 225. Like, I don't think Sandhagen finishes him. I really don't. And Sandhagen had that sick knockout of Marias. But Marias is always trying to like engage in the firefight too, right?
Yeah.
Frankie Edgar's too smart for that. He is a savvy veteran. I don't really see him putting himself in a position where he can get finished.
Yeah,
I think he's smart. I think he kind of stays safe, but I think he loses a pretty lopsided decision.
When was the last time Frankie Edgar was finished?
Well, he got finished against
Song Jong finished him. Yeah, that's right, in round 1.
Korean Zombie.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I was there in attendance the first time he ever got stopped by T-City Brian Ortega.
Brian Ortega finished him. Ooh.
That was the first time he ever got stopped.
All right, Sandhagen. We're both on Sandhagen.
I got Sandhagen by decision.
Ready for the main event?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I am.
Let's hear your pick, Zach. What do you got?
Well, who do you like?
So I rewatched a couple of fights of Volkov's and Overeem's, and I like Overeem. And I'm going to tell you what I think the difference is going to be in this fight. I think Overeem's not going to stand and trade with him. Like, I think those days of Overeem are over. He's a veteran. He's smart. He wants that title shot again. And if he gets a hold of Volkov and gets him to the ground, Volkov is not getting up. He's going to smash him. And that's what I think is going to happen. I think eventually he gets a hold of him, gets him down to the ground, and just controls him. I mean, you go rewatch that fight with Volkov and Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades, and I'm not saying Overeem is in the same realm of wrestling as Curtis Blades, but dude, Overeem's top game. But yeah, and when Overeem gets on top of somebody, you see what he does. Punishes people.
Well, I hate agreeing with you on these fights, but I've been saying it all year. I have Overeem as my heavyweight champ of the world by the end of this year. And that doesn't happen if he loses to Volkov.
I mean,
I am riding with Overeem, and it's not Overeem anymore, and it's not Ubereem, it's Evolvereem. He has evolved.
He really has.
A completely different fighter. He trains at Elevation now. He trains with Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades destroyed him.
Yeah.
Right? Destroyed him. And what did he do? He goes, I need that. I need to add that to my game. And he moves to Colorado. He adds that ground and pound. He's training at Elevation. Conditioning's never really been an issue. He's still one of the most decorated striking heavyweights in MMA history.
Yeah.
And he still has that he can rely on. But oh, by the way, now he wrestles a little bit. And when he gets on top, like you said, ball game, it's over. Those elbows are coming, and it is over.
Yeah, you look at what he did to Sakaya, to Walt Harris. If it wasn't for that fluke punch from Rosenstrike, he's on a 5-fight win streak, and he's finished 4 out of the 5. If he goes to decision, he blows freaking Rosenstrike out because he pretty much won every round, right?
No, he was up 4 rounds though.
Demolishing, right? He's demolishing Rosenstrike. He finishes Olenek, round 1, ground and pound. He's ground and pound his last 4 wins, ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound. Like, he's on a mission, man. He's on a mission. I think he just gets a hold of Volkov.
You'll see. I think a very slow first round. I think he dances. They both dance on the outside a little bit, and then Overeem's gonna hit him, and You're going to see kind of like some old school, like wrestling, throw an overhand to the clinch. Like he'll throw a big overhand just to get inside to get the guy to do one of these. And as he throws it and then he just grabs him and dumps him. And dude, he's been working on his ground game, and we've been watching, he trains with Curtis Blades every day. He trains with Zach Pog every day. They have a great crew of heavyweights there and big, strong boys. And, Volkov, I mean, we're just all over Overeem here, like Volkov's some bum. We got the former Bellator heavyweight champ, but
he's legit.
I think
Volkov's legit too, but
Volkov also loses fights against other guys at the top. Like, let's be honest. Like, they both beat Walt Harris. That's fine. He got murdered by Curtis Blades. So did Overeem, right?
Yeah.
He beat Greg Hardy. Levels ahead of Greg Hardy. He lost that stupid fight to Derek Lewis. I mean, he was winning, but same thing that happened with Overeem with Rosenstruck. Beat Verdum when Verdum was kind of gone. But, like, after that, like, I don't know. Like, Volkov, he's not. I hate to say this. He's a little overrated in my eyes.
Hey, Vegas is liking him, man. He's a 2-1. He's a 2-1 favorite to win this.
Good, because we're going to cash on Overeem plus 155.
They also don't see Vegas is heavy on this, going under 3.5 too.
Yeah.
I don't see this fight going to decision. Do you?
All 5 rounds?
I don't think so.
Nope.
Because I think if Overeem gets this to the ground, it's over. Volkov's. I mean, if Volkov's going to win, he knocks out Overeem, right? I mean, that's his only path to victory, right? He clips him.
He could outpoint him. He could outpoint him because he's so long and rangy. I mean, he's 6'7", but here's the thing: Volkov is not going to do anything that Overeem's never seen, and vice versa. They're both way too experienced, right? Yeah, you're talking between the two of them, they have over 100 fights between the two of them.
Yeah,
as professional fighters, and
and they're in the small cage too. Keep that in mind too when we're making these picks.
I like Overeem even more.
I'm
close off those angles and it's over, dude.
And he's shown that he can take a punch lately too. I mean, look at what Walt Harris.
He can recover.
Recovers.
Man, there was a narrative that he had a glass chin for a little bit.
Yeah, even Sakaya, he had a couple little moments in there, and Overeem's tough, man. He's on a mission. It's hard to beat a man on a mission like that. It really is.
So
we both like the Reem. You want to do a recap on your picks?
Osborne, Choi, McCann, Edwards, Smith, Tamar, Rodriguez, Michael Johnson, Ferreira, Stamen, Cape, Sandahagen, Overeem.
Lock of the night.
Lock of the night is Smith via KO.
I like it.
150. That's the best value and the best bet on the entire card, I think.
I like it too.
I just don't see how he doesn't knock out that dude.
Underdog bet of the night.
The underdog bet of the night it's for sure. It's got to be Choi.
Choi.
Edwards is plus 200, but I'm not like uber confident on that. Like, I actually legitimately think Choi's the better fighter and is going to win this fight.
I do too. And I could see him finishing him too.
Overeem plus 155 is a good.
God, yeah, Overeem's
what do you think a parlay with Choi and Overeem is? I'll bet you that pays nice. Just saying.
Ooh, I'm going to get on there and do that right now.
Not saying, just saying. If you're playing a DraftKings lineup.
DraftKings, yeah, you're the DraftKings king. You always do good on that. I still haven't quite figured out that one yet.
What will fit in your budget as of this morning is Choi, Michael Johnson, Odie Osborne, Alistair Overeem, Sandhagen, and Devontae Smith. Money. Cash money. Like, the only one that I'm like, is like Overeem could lose. I don't think he loses, but Sandhagen, Smith, Odie, Johnson, all win. Troy's an underdog, but I think he's the better fighter, and we're both heavy on him. I like him. And then Overeem, this is probably my favorite DraftKings lineup I've ever built, so it probably means it's going to lose. So I don't know.
Oh man, we got bare knuckle tonight too. I'm actually going to tune into this one. I know we've talked about it on the podcast. Kind of want to tune in.
Well, one, Paige Van Zant's fighting, and that's the show. Are you tuning in to watch Paige Van Zant? Or are you tuning in to watch Paige Van Zant get beat up?
I don't think she's going to get beat up.
Really?
I don't think she's going to get beat up.
That face off, that girl wants to tear her face off.
I think a little bit of that's going to be for show. Don't forget, Paige has got some skill, man. Everybody dogs on her because of who she is and her social media. She's got some skill. She's tough. It's not like she's just some pretty girl with a pretty face and Paige is fighting, so Zach will be watching. She's tough though.
I've been the Paige Van Zant defendant saying she gets overlooked because of her looks and that she is tough. Is she bare knuckle boxing tough, and is she crazy?
She's crazy enough to do it.
Dude, you know what? She
made a damn good comment on that press conference when she said UFC was paying her 40 to show, 40 to win. She's getting 10 times that.
Exactly.
Who wouldn't want to do that? If you're a fighter, do you blame her?
Me, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that.
If somebody offered you $400,000 to go take a bare knuckle fight, you wouldn't do it.
Oh yeah, $400K. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You take somebody like her that's huge popularity
for $400K. I'd get in a cage with Brock Lesnar for $400K. I don't care. She's tough. We've seen her get hurt. We've seen her get cut. We've seen her get her.
She
smashed. Broken arm, whatever.
She's tough, man.
Sure, and that's fine, but I just think this is different. Because here's my other question: has Paige ever been punched in the face without gloves on?
I don't know.
Doubt it. Strongly doubt it.
I don't know.
Okay, so here's my question. It's all worth it and stuff, but does the first time she gets socked in the eye socket with a bare knuckle, is she going to go, oh, that hurt, and just curl up and just, No,
I don't think so. I think
some faith in her.
I think she wins, man. I don't know what it is.
Can I tell you what I'm excited about?
What?
And this is for you, babe, because I know you're watching. Anytime Chris Lieben's fighting, I am interested though.
Hey,
Chris Lieben is a madman.
He is the bare knuckle, the face of bare knuckle.
He is the bare knuckle guy.
If you look up bare knuckle in the dictionary, there's Chris Lieben and there's Rowdy Akers. Shout out to Rowdy.
But you know what I mean? It's like
those are guys, yeah.
I've actually loved since season 1 of The Ultimate Fighter. I've enjoyed watching Chris Lieben fight.
He's great.
He's great, and that is what I, in fact, would be tuning in for if I decide to watch bare knuckle. I don't know if I can do it. It's not my thing, guys. It's just not. I'm sorry. Bare knuckle fighting is just not my thing. But we had a bare knuckle boxer on the show with Jason and Dalton. Shout out Dalton for coming on. It sounds like we're going to have some more on. We got a little publicity from them.
Yeah, we did. Stay tuned. Yeah.
Props, like they put our logo on some of their banners and stuff, and that's really cool. And I'll support them if they're supporting us as an organization. But like as a sport, I just have a hard time watching it and getting into it. I just do. Sorry.
It's been hard for me too, and I'm trying to work to get the Paul Tyler on. Him and I have been talking back, and he's the one that's giving us the plug and hooking us up with some of these fighters to interview. But yeah, I'd like to have that conversation with him because I am in the same boat as you. It's not something that I'm changing my plans to stay at home on a Friday night and watch the bare knuckle fight because it's
yeah. Well, what's crazy is I get into MMA. And now I'm getting into boxing, and I like boxing. And now I'm paying more attention to kickboxing, Glory Kickboxing. And if there's some Muay Thai fights on, and I can watch those, I love sitting down and watching a couple Muay Thai fights. I'm getting into all these combat sports. I love watching the jiu-jitsu tournaments and the grappling stuff, and the Chael Sonnen Underground grappling and the Eddie Bravo Invitational. I'm getting into watching, and I can watch all those. Not like I do MMA, but if it's on and I'm not really doing anything, I love to sit down and watch that stuff. If bare knuckle boxing is on, I'd rather just turn off the TV.
Yeah, it hasn't been.
It doesn't engage me at all.
I'm curious as to. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's getting
400K. You better believe. Give me those raps, and I'll get in the ring.
It's getting a lot of publicity, man. It's getting a lot. I mean, we've talked about it on here a million times, man. You typically see guys like Lieben at the end of their career, but on the flip side of it, he's got an opportunity to still fight and still make a living. So, I mean,
but at what cost?
That's kind of what.
That's what I don't like about it is,
yeah.
If it was like a sport and you were like, I want to be a bare knuckle boxer, nobody comes up and be like, I want to be a bare knuckle boxer. They are all MMA people that the MMA promotions are like, or boxing people are like, sorry, we're done. Like, you're done, man. Like, we can't use you anymore. And it's like MMA and boxing. I'm sorry, but and I don't mean to sound like totally disrespectful here, but it's like when Dana White and boxing promoters are being like, hey, we're looking out for your best interest here. You need to be done. And then the bare knuckle boxing people are like, here's a boatload of money. Come fight for us. It's like when Dana White is showing more humanity and morality than somebody else, that somebody else needs to look in the mirror because Dana White isn't exactly the morality police. You know what I mean?
Let's play devil's advocate here. And you take a guy that's all he's did his whole life. He fights. He started fighting when he was at a young age. He's fought in school, got into local fights, got into the regional scene, got on the big card, fought for 20 plus years like a Chris Lieben, and then he doesn't have that opportunity anymore. I mean, it's kind of given him a platform to still kind of do what he loves and he has a passion for. I get both sides of it, and I'm totally leaning towards. I'd rather not see it.
It's not easy, man. Like it's not easy. Like I'm gonna be very real and very personal right here and right now. Man, I was not happy with who I was before I found MMA, and now because I wasn't able to compete anymore. I grew up playing football, baseball, basketball year round, and I constantly competing. I'm like You could ask my wife. We play little card games at night and stuff after the boys go to bed to spend time together. And when she beats me in that, I start getting pissed. I'm as competitive as anybody that I know. I love to compete in every way, shape, or form. And now my fear is, now that I found MMA, that it's going to be hard to walk away because I know that void that there's going to be that void again, and you have to feel it with something. And I get that, but it's the fighter's job to fill that void and figure out how to move on to the next stage of their life. It's not a promoter's job to give them a platform to keep doing something that their body physically shouldn't be doing anymore.
Yeah.
That's exploitation. Now, if they're signing these young 24, 25-year-old meatheads that have long fighting careers and they want to take some bare knuckle fights while they're between promotions and contract for a nice payday or whatever. So like the Artem Lobov, Jason Knight, that was perfect, right? These are two guys that they haven't been through all the wars in the world. They're not on their way out of the sport. They're trying to get back into the UFC and stuff like that. That's a great stopping point for the people interested that wanted to do that. It's my issue is that those guys that are in their late 30s, 40s, that the promotions are like, dude, you've been knocked out too many times. Like, you're done. Like, let's call it a day. And these guys still want to fight. And somebody's like, I'll let you fight. Part of it's, I think it's kind of irresponsible.
Yeah, I get it, man. I
hate it.
Trying to look at it from like the fighter's perspective. You get guys that
with what we know now about concussions and the lasting effects of that stuff and people not being the same and CTE, and until we have some better answers on that type of stuff, we should not be encouraging. And I know I'm talking on an MMA podcast and people that fight, and there's not a doctor in the world that should tell anybody to fight. I mean, after I got my first concussion from my first fight, my doctor's like, no, you shouldn't fight again. But no doctor in the world is going to tell you should never fight. Like I get that aspect of it. But like when you're talking about these guys that should be done, and Dana White could still make money off some of these older guys. He chooses not to for their own safety.
Do you think that we will see maybe a shift and you may see guys going into bare knuckle? Or do you think
if the money's there, I'll tell you this right now, if they're willing to shell out $400K to people like Paige Van Zandt in the prime of their career, when she was only making 25 and 25 or whatever,
40 and 40 is what she said.
40 and 40, whatever. Then yes, money talks.
Yeah.
That's what I'm more interested. I mean, man, okay. Greg Hardy. Okay.
Yeah. Greg Hardy
probably never get into the top of the UFC. Yeah. I don't think he'll ever get to the top. He looks so inept on the ground in his last fight. I immediately just checked out and said, you're too late to the game. You will go as high as people will stand with you, but as soon as somebody can take you down, you're done. Like you're never beating Curtis Blades. He's never beating DC would mop him even right now at 310 pounds or whatever DC weighs.
He's huge.
You know what I mean? Steve, like he's never getting to that level. If he right now in his young MMA career decides to make a pivot and wants to switch to being a bare knuckle boxing guy, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But these over the hill guys that it should be done in combat sports, I don't like that. And I actually have pretty strong feelings about that.
I agree. Well,
guess what I don't watch?
One more bet for the night.
Ooh.
I'm taking Charissa Sagala in bare knuckle tonight. She was our guest on there.
Yeah. Damage Plan alum.
I'm taking her.
Got to put a couple bucks.
Just a couple got a little insider information about her opponent that I like, and I'm gonna roll with her. Yeah.
Can you give me that insider information?
So yeah, we'll just give it to everybody. So I was talking a little bit and did a little bit of research on her opponent, and her opponent has a tendency when she gets hit to turn her back when she gets hit.
Oh, that is bad news bears.
And Charissa is tough, man. She's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. She's tough. This is her first bare knuckle fight, but she's been training for a long time. I
watched the interview. She seems ready in game. I believe her.
Yeah, I'm kind of sold. Yeah. So it's a coin flip right now. You're minus 115 on both. So
I'll take the girl that doesn't turn her back.
Yeah, that's what I'm taking.
This isn't. Well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm going to say it. People that are afraid to get hit, it doesn't work out so well for them.
Yeah.
And those that don't, anybody that knows who I'm talking about, they know. If you know, you know, and if you don't, it's fine. But that's just a good rule of thumb.
Yep. Well, I think we've gone long enough today. What do you think?
Absolutely. Hey, shout out to my son Hunter. It's his birthday on Monday, so me and him are going to go to Boondocks and go play some video games right now.
Happy early birthday, Hunter.
Yeah. Be good.
Awesome. All right. Well, enjoy the fights tomorrow night.
Hey, time out.
What?
Super Bowl. Who you got?
Bucks.
End the show. Get out of here. Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes.
No team in NFL history has won the Super Bowl missing their two starting offensive linemen. I'm going to end it at that.
But no team in NFL history has had my man Patrick Mahomes slinging to Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce.
He's got to get the ball out of his hands first. Bucks defense is going to be
just so you know, I love how much money is coming in on the Bucks.
There is a lot of money.
And how everybody is on the Bucks. I love it. I love it.
I will say that is a little alarming to me because I was thinking how everybody was going to be on Kansas City, but
everybody's on that. I'm going to go my boy Patrick Mahomes. It is going to be a passing of the torch. Tom Brady to Patrick Mahomes.
Over under 56.
I do like the under. I do like
agree on that.
I don't think it's going to be this crazy shootout like everybody else does.
Yeah, I don't think so neither. It's a little alarming though that KC will be missing those two starting offensive linemen.
Agreed, but guess what? The Chiefs already beat them once. They're going to beat them again, and
it's Tom Brady. It's the Super Bowl, man. Hard to bet against him.
He's lost his fair share of Super. I mean, he's amazing. He's amazing. It's not a knock. I'm not a LeBron guy. I'm always a Jordan guy. But people are like, yeah, well, Jordan's won 6 rings. How many times has LeBron won? Like, LeBron's lost what? He's won like 4 out of 9 or whatever. I'm like, so you're knocking him for getting to the finals 9 times with like 2 or 3 garbage teams? Like, come on.
Oh, my headphones died.
Oh, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's not a knock that he gets to the Super Bowl all the time. Like, he's going to lose some of them. Like, the only bad loss that he's had in the Super Bowl was to the Eagles. The fact that Bill Belichick got out coached by Doug Peterson is a disgrace. Doug Peterson's one of the worst coaches in the NFL.
Dan Orlovsky made a comment on First Take this morning that I really liked, and he said,
"Be careful, because he was one of the worst quarterbacks to ever put on a Lions uniform." So,
but he made a good point, and he said Tom Brady can just be good, and Tampa Bay can win. Mahomes can't be good for the Chiefs to win. He has to be great for the Chiefs to win.
But he's pretty much great almost all the time.
He is. I'm still going with the Bucs.
Okay.
We agree on the under.
I'll take the Chiefs. So that means hammer the over.
Yeah, exactly. Hammer the over. Don't listen to us.
Have a good weekend, guys.
All right, guys. See you guys on Monday. We out.